Okay, so this is the last lesson in the unit, which means it's a problem-solving lesson. And this lesson is all about multiple step problems. In something like this, it's not the math that's going to be hard. It's going to be the questions and figuring out what it's asking you to do. That's going to be a bit of a challenge. Now, if you approach every math problem with the same mindset of I'm going to work my hardest and give it my best, no matter what it's asking of me, then you won't have a problem. But if maybe you sometimes get all like, I totally know all my multiplication facts and this is easy, and you rush through it, you might miss something. Some of these questions are purposely written in a way for you to not quite get what it's saying the first time. So the whole point behind this lesson is reading and taking notes and being organized in how we solve the problem. Okay? So let's look at the first one. It says adult admission to the town fair is $7. Child admission to the fair is $3. How much would it cost 2 adults and 4 children to enter the fair? So, what I do, I'm going to set myself up. First, I'm going to show what I know. An adult ticket is $7. A child's ticket is $3. Now, let's see here. 2 adults. That means 2 adults is 2 at $7 each, which is $14. How many kids? 4 kids. Kids are $3 each, and there are 4 of them, so I'm doing 4 times 3, which is 12. Okay, am I done?
No.
No. What is the question? How much would it cost? What their meaning is, but I've said it's going to cost $14 and $12.
But you need to add them up.
It wants me to say how much it's going to cost in all. Obviously, I don't want to have to pay for something twice. I want you to give me the total amount so I can pay for it once. So 14 plus 12 is so $26. So guys, this was single digit multiplication with easy addition. It's not like the math part was challenging. It's the making sure you understand what it's asking you to do. Let's look at number 4. Charlie and Lola like to walk around the perimeter of their town park. Okay. The perimeter is 2 miles long. So P equals 2. Last week, Charlie walked around the perimeter 4 times. So Charlie is 4P. 4 times around the perimeter. Lola walked around it 5 times. Okay, so L is 5P. How many more miles did Lola walk than Charlie last week? Well, if Charlie walked around it 4 times and it's 2, how far did he walk?
8.
I'm doing 4 times 2, which equals 8. Okay, Lola walked around it 5 times, and I know P is 2, so 5 times 2 is 10. How many more miles? What is it asking? It's asking me to do subtraction. When I see the words how many more, that means subtraction. How many means addition. How many more? 10 minus 8 is 2. Again, the math part is not what's a challenge. It's the reading and decoding and figuring it out. That can be more of a challenge. Let's look at 5. Abby buys 15 sunflower plants and 12 petunia plants. Okay, so 15 S and 12 petunia. She plans to plant 3 flowers in each row. How many rows of flowers will Abby plant? Okay, well, 3 plants in each row. That means for 15, 3 times what will get me 15? 3 times 5. So the sunflower will have 5 rows. Okay, same with the 12. 3 in each row, so 3 times what will give me 12? 4. So I'm going to have 5 rows of sunflowers and 4 rows of petunias. Am I done? No. How many rows of flowers will Abby plant? How many rows of flowers? Not how many of each flower. It just says how many rows of flowers, which means in all. So now I have to do 5 plus 4 to get 9 rows in all. Now, here's something that we haven't done yet, and I want to show it to you because it will be on your test tomorrow, okay? It's a little confusing, and the wording is a little weird, which is why I'm going to give you an example of it today. So what I'm giving you is going to be a much easier version, and then I'll explain it afterwards. So let's say I have 5 spools of rope. A spool is like that wooden thing that it wraps around to hold it in place. So I have 5 spools of rope. Each spool has anywhere between, let's say, 4 to 7 inches of rope. Well, let's not say inches, let's say feet. Be a little more realistic. So each spool has 4 to 7 feet of rope. What could, here's the main question here. What could the possible amount of rope be?
4 to 7, how much? 4 to 7 what? Feet.
So here's what it's asking you to do. The word could is going to be the key here. The way I set this up, it's given me 2 things. I've got 5 spools that could have anywhere from 4 to 7 inches. That means it could have 5 inches. It could have feet. It could have 4 feet. It could have 5 feet. It could have 6 feet, or it could have 7 feet. But it doesn't specify. It's not specific on that. It just says anywhere between 4 and 7. So here's how I solve this. I know I have 5, and it could have between 4 and 7, meaning the least amount and the most amount, the greatest amount. So to find the least amount that each spool could possibly have, I'm going to do 5 times 4, which is 20. If every spool had the smallest amount, it would be 20 in all, right? Yeah. Okay, then 5 spools that are 7. If every spool had the greatest amount of feet in it, that would give me 35. So, what could the possible amount be? Anything between 20 and 35 could be correct. So your answer choices would be A, 19, B, 31, C, 36, D, 10. What answer choice would you choose? Everybody tell me.
B.
31. Because 31 fits in between 20 and 35. I have learned that if I got all my spools somehow magically got the smallest amount possible, it would be 20. 19 is less than the smallest amount possible, so there's no way that would work.
Did you help us on the test?
You will have a question that is just like this, but these numbers will be bigger on the test. This is to help you understand what you have to do.
Okay, but did you draw or write something to help?
I have marked the question on the test. In between is what you're looking for. So between is the key here to solving this, finding what fits in between your answers. You do not have to try and do 5 times 6 and 5 times 5. That doesn't matter. It just has to be in between the least and greatest amount. So let's try another one. What if I had 9 spools of rope? And each spool was somewhere between 7 and 11 feet. What could the amount be? What do I do first to solve it?
9 times 7.
I'm going to do 9 times 7 to find what the least amount could possibly be. So what is 9 times 7?
63.
63. Then my next step is
9
9 times 11, which is 99. So now I've got my range. It's going to be somewhere in between 63 and 99. So if my answer choices are 62, 84, 101, 12, I don't know. What would you choose? 84, because that goes in between, okay?
12.
So the whole point is multiplying by both options and going in between, okay? So the rest of it is all about finding the extra information, making a list, making a chart, making sure you read everything carefully, because I promise you, you're gonna think you did it and then you're gonna realize you missed it, okay? Read it carefully, more than once, please, at least 3 times.